Hello, viewers. In this session today, I'm not going to do the regular by presenting any slideshow or giving you some educational or informational video or talking to a person, but today I'm going to do it a little differently. Uh, I'm going to make it more interactive. So, today in this session, we're going to be doing an exercise. There are a lot of times in life when we go through a lot of stress, and that is when our mind starts feeling very negative. So we start complaining about everything that is in our life, we start whining about whatever that comes our way, and we start rejecting things instead of accepting these things that come your way, and we just fail miserably to work our way through and be successful in what we are facing in life. There are multiple reasons why someone faces so much of negativity. It could be because of your lifestyle, it could be because of your background, it could be because of your current situation, or it could be in your educational college, university, or it could be in your professional area, at your work, in your offices, in your laboratories. It could also be because of being in contact with negative people, which we really don't know if they're negative, but they try to manipulate or brainwash you at times, and you start reacting negatively to situations. We all know negativity is just going to hamper our lives. It does not take you to any bright side in life. And in today's exercise, I'm going to ask you multiple questions which will help you analyze if you are a negative person or if you are in affinity to a negator, or if you are becoming a negative person. So, I have a very small presentation, a very short presentation of 4 to 5 slides for you, in which it has a lot of questions asked. So, what I request you to do is go through those questions and try to comment in the video below of your answers, or what your perspective is when I'm asking those about those questions, and do you have any solutions in mind, or have you experienced any such negative people or negative situations in life, and how have you overcome those? And feel free to just throw in examples of any negative situation or any negative person you have known and you have tried to avoid it. So let me just go ahead and share my screen. There you go. So let's start with the first question to tell you if you are a negative person. Identify a situation that is a reason for your negativity, or just try to identify a negator whom you have to deal with on a daily basis or regularly, and make sure if those after those people have come in contact with you, that has affected your thought process, or if there are any failures you are facing every day in life, and that has made you more negative, or more complaining towards any situation or person. What is the experience of facing negativity? How do you experience negativity in life? Think about it. It need not always be going to work and talking to your colleague who is negative. It need not be always like that. It need not be some of your student friends who are in your class and trying to demean you. That's not always negativity. negativity is some that is also negativity, but at the same time there are a lot of instances in which you try to talk to strangers or friend circle or people you meet in group, try who try to pass negative comments thinking that they're encouraging you, and see how that affects to you. So these are the kind of experiences you can share. What are these possible causes of negativity? List what, according to you, are the causes of negativity for yourself or the negator, and why. So, there's always a background when people react to something. See what that uh, background reasons are. See what made you think in a negative pattern. When you're trying to be negative, see if there are any behavioral patterns or behavioral changes in yourself or within your thought process. See if you have changed when you are dealing with people around you, not just not just people in your close circle, but also strangers, where you used to smile when you go to a grocery store and you are nowadays very cold about things. So just try to trace down that behavioral pattern. Another thing important is, what are your best communication or other strategies for dealing with self negativity or dealing with a negator? So, do you go with the flow? Do you just ignore? Or do you try to keep yourself calm and try to work it through that negativity when you feel that you're going downhill in a negative pattern? Do you sometimes feel a low level of self esteem? And have you ever tried to increase it by yourself? I'm sure this happens to a lot of people when you start feeling that the person in front is more intimidating just because of his actions, his deeds, or his words, and you start feeling low in confidence and low in self-esteem. You start avoiding groups or gatherings. You want to stay alone because you lose that confidence of going into people. So do you just become comfortable by not facing other people, or you just overcome that complexity and try to increase your self-esteem? Have you ever faced that? So what if anything can be done to reduce this perceived threat? What should be done to make the situation more challenging? So when you say more challenging, challenges keep you positive because you know you want to work your way through these challenges and try to become successful, and there are steps involved in making these situations more challenging, or you just run away from the situations. This is another way of ignoring or avoiding situations where you know you're not going to succeed and you just run away. That is a sign of negativity. And there are measurable ways to define the problem, to define the negativity. Start analyzing those measurable ways, like what happened that made you think that way? Who was involved when you started thinking in that way? When did that happen? Where did that happen? And if those things happen, why those things happened that made you a negative person? Start analyzing those things, and that is going to help you a lot to overcome this situation. What can you do to be better prepared to reach your goals in this situation or with the negator? So you have to be prepared to take negativity every now and again. So do you have any plans? Because when you know that you're going to face negativity from some person around you, what is your plan to still reach to your goals in that situation without being affected because of the negativity or the negative vibes that you get from people around. What can you do to overcome obstacles that interfere with your efforts to overcome negativity? So it happens a lot in corporate world, I would like to say, where the obstacles are like people try to uh, take credit for your work, people try to interfere and tell you that you cannot do stuff or you're doing it wrong. They all always try to demean you, they are disrespectful towards you, and you start feeling less about yourself, and you start thinking you are really not fit for what you're doing, or the person in front is always better than you. So think about what can you do or what have you done to overcome such obstacles. What should be done to make the situation more challenging again? In such situations, what are you going to do? And is there something that you experience repeatedly that results in your becoming quite upset? So when you know you're going to face that situation or that person over and over again, do you have a plan as to face that situation or avoid that situation to reoccur again so that it doesn't make you upset? So, meanwhile, you have this presentation for thoughts and start putting down answers to these, your experiences, your perspective on what can be done, how can you cope up with all the negative situation. In the coming up sessions, I have a lot of solutions to for you to think on how to uh, beat negativity and keep positive for for achieving your goals and targets in life, and to just have a successful and better life. So with all this, what I want to tell you is we are going to face negativity in every step of your life, in every stage and phases of life, but many people are like cowards, try to avoid those situations, try to avoid those people around you. What solutions I'm trying to give you in the coming up session is, instead of avoiding and instead of running away from these situations, face them. Try to have a plan on how to overcome those situations. And all this comes under how to manage negativity. So, with that, I would like to thank you all again for listening to me, and I'm going to thank you all in advance for commenting on this video and sharing your experiences. Uh, depend on you guys for your I depend on your support, and thank you very much again. Please be interactive. I request you all to please share your thoughts on the questions I have asked. I would like to share I would like to request you all to share your life experiences and how you have overcome negativity with shining colors. So, with that, I would like to thank you all, and I request you all to subscribe my channel if you haven't yet. Thank you very much, and see you soon.